What's going on, my broskies? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. This is going to be kind of like a follow-on from the video that I made a couple of days ago when I talked about the Basil Hawkins ranking Blitz battle event. I went through the island, discussed what you should be expecting, and we also talked about a couple of different teams that you can use in order to beat that dungeon. Now, with that, currently, as of me recording the video, this is mission 2 throughout this current period, and then tomorrow when this video goes live, so tomorrow after this video, is when the Kaido event will be dropping. So in this video today, we're going to be talking about the Kaido event because it is much more difficult than the Hawkins ranking mission. So basically, if you found the Hawkins mission very difficult, or you struggled to beat it, or you could not beat it at all, I think you're probably either not going to be able to beat Kaido, or you are going to struggle to beat Kaido. Now, luckily, there are 3 different difficulties. There is a 50, there is a 30, I don't know if it's 10 stamina or 20 stamina, or 15, I can't remember, but I know that there's definitely a 30 and a 50 stamina. So basically, if you cannot beat the highest difficulty version, make sure to farm still the 30 stamina version, because all of the points you earn on the Kaido mission are still tallied up with your total ranking score. So make sure to go ahead and keep farming this up when this eventually drops. You want to rank up in a really high spot, get a lot of rainbow gems because of that. So I guess that's about it. So without further ado, let's get into it. Of course, massive shout out to Imset as well for posting this particular article. Link to everything regarding his channel and this particular article down below in the description. I'll probably leave it as a pinned comment as well. Make sure to go ahead and check it out. So let's go ahead and scroll down. There of course is an infographic just showing you guys who are the boosted units for this particular event, of course. And of course, they're all Wano characters, a lot of them relating to the newest batches that have been coming out. But we want to scroll all the way down to where the Kaido event begins. So, Stage 3 against this Kaido. There is a couple of things you need to know. First of all, he has 3 million HP. He has a 3-turn cooldown, which is good because he can actually stall out the defensive effects, which is really good here because he rewinds all of your specials by 1 turn. That's pretty annoying to deal with. But then he applies Rainbow Shield for 2 turns, Threshold for 2 turns, and Defense up for 2 turns. Now, the most ideal character in this situation is the new rare recruit Usohachi, who has a crewmate ability that can resist special rewind, and you can use his special ability to remove all 3 of those defensive effects by 5 turns. So if you have the new Usohachi, it is the most usable unit in this particular circumstance, but there is a replacement for that. We'll go through that in just a little bit. Moving on, we move on to Stage 4. Stage 4 actually has 2 different variations. So there is a variation where the boss is Strength, and there is also one where the boss is a Psi version. Either way, they both have 7 million HP, a 2-turn cooldown, so the Pre-Emptive Attack gives you a full board of block orbs. Then if you encounter the Strength variation, you get 5 turns of Despair to both of your captains. If you encounter the Psi variation, it is 3 turns of attack down. Now, of course, that Despair goes down to 2 turns with sockets and stuff like that. You can actually use someone like Corazon support to go ahead and remove 2 turns of the Despair, and in order to remove attack down, there is actually a unit that you could potentially use. I will go actually through that. Toadskii, limited rare recruit Toadskii, actually, I believe she actually removes attack down, if I remember correctly. Attaches only to Smoker and Zoro, so if you have Luffy and Zoro yourself, you can attach it to her. Once per adventure, when you're inflicted with attack down, reduces by 2 turns and changes strength and quick into matching. Like, that's a really good support effect on that limited rare recruit Toadskii, but of course, that does require you, number 1, having Luffy and Zoro, and number 2, having the support effect max of limited rare recruit Toadskii, which is not a very accessible character. But that is just a situation that you could use if you have it. You can actually just go ahead and tank a hit from this guy if you definitely want to. And of course, you have to say this right now. Of course, you need to be running Luffy, Zoro, friend captain if you don't own him yourself. If you have the entire batch, you actually can still run a team with double Sober Mask, and then you can have Luffy, Zoro as a sub. But most of the time, like 99% of players are likely going to be running someone with Luffy and Zoro, friend captain. That's the best way to take on this event. When you actually kill this Kaido, he cuts your health in half and charges your helper's special back to max. So you can actually use your friend captain special on this stage, and then once you kill him, it gets recharged back to max, which is a very, very useful thing to note. So just know that if you encounter the Strength version, you get Despaired. If you encounter the Psi version, you get attacked down. Either way, you will still get a full board of block orbs, so the most ideal unit to use here is the newly released Carrot Rare Recruit, because she changes block orbs into tandem, and she removes Despair, and she removes attack down. So that new Carrot is going to be exceptional for this particular stage. Then there's the final boss, Kaido. Now, this is the reason why this event is so difficult. This Kaido, it says 99 million HP here. I don't know if it's exactly 99 million. It's give or take, it's 100 million HP. This is why this event is considered as hard as what it is. And the thing is, you have to run boosted units in order to actually, if you want to be farming up in this event. Now, there are teams that are able to beat it that don't have any point boosts whatsoever. But if you're running a team that doesn't have any point boosts, it's not even worth running. You should just run the lower stamina difficulties with a lot of point boosters. That makes a lot more sense. You know what I mean? Either way, the preemptive attack here, both of your captains are binded for 5 turns. Your captain gets 3 turns of special rewind. Only your captain, not your friend captain, your captain. So ideally what you want to do is use that special ability of your captain on stage 4 instead, or you can just go ahead and stall 3 turns here. That's another way you can do it too. Also, your slots are randomly shuffled, all units are paralyzed for 2 turns, and there's end of turn damage that is applied. You can see in that top corner there. Right, and then turn 1, he randomly paralyzes a unit for 1 turn. I think he does that every single turn. I'm not 100% sure about that. But basically, what you want to be having for this stage is the new Kizuna Okiku, because her special ability will get rid of the bind and also get rid of the paralysis. So you definitely want to be running Okiku. Plus, Okiku has type advantage against Kaido, and obviously 1.5 stats and 1.5 point boost, like a perfect unit to run. So now let's go over to the database to go ahead and go through the most ideal situations to be using these units, right? So this is like hands down the recommended team that they would suggest for this particular event. Now, of course, like not everyone is going to have all these units. Like a lot of people are not going to have all of these units, but if you do, this is a way to use it, because you got this guy for stage 3, Carrot for stage 4, you for stage 5. You can use one of these guys on stage 5 or stage 4 and on stage 5, and then you've got this obviously for the 2.5 attack boost. That makes a lot of sense, but there's more than that. Let's go to Lucy 6+. Now, this particular team, I don't think I would suggest to you guys to run all that much. If you are going to run this team, I would suggest 2 things. Number 1, VV support, and also number 2, log Luffy support. The reason for that is because you can attach both of those to like 2 of your strength characters to guarantee matching orbs on the final boss fight. So you can have like this. You can use the switch ability of Luffy and Zoro in order to give them the guaranteed Wano slot on the final boss stage. On the final boss stage as well, because you can use the Lucy special on stage 4, hit a few perfects, carry the boost into the next turn. You don't have to worry about the special rewind for your captain either, which is really, really cool. And you really want to try and get a matching orb on this Zoro somehow. For those of you who don't know what this Zoro does, he gives color affinity to your free spirit characters, which is really good. So you can use that in order to get a color affinity boost. And you might be wondering, what is this Trafalgar Law doing here? So the way that you can use this guy, you can use his special ability on stage 3, where the Kaido has all those defensive effects. He actually removes all of the defensive effects except for the damage threshold on the enemy. It's pretty annoying to get around. However, what you can do is you can use his special ability to remove those effects, and his special ability automatically kills one of those mobs. You can use his normal attacks to kill the other mob, and Kaido's on a 3-turn cooldown. So you can stall, wait for that defensive effect to go away, and then kill him once the defensive effect is gone. And because you are using Luffy and Zoro as your captain, whenever he attacks any of those quick units, he's guaranteeing a Wano slot. So he's going to be doing a lot of damage on that stage 3 boss Kaido. So you don't even have to worry about that Kaido that much. The thing is though, is you are running 1, 2, 3 units that are not boosted on this event, so you may have to stall for their specials. I can't remember if you do need to stall, maybe for Morley. Morley's only required on the final boss room though, but when we activate all of our specials, we of course want the 2.75 multiplier. We want Lucy's 2x attack boost, Morley's boost, and Zoro's boost. And of course, this doesn't give you 100 million exactly, but with like cotton candies and stats and everything else added, this will be 100 million. And plus, if you do get another matching orb either way, that'll take you over the threshold anyway. So that is just another example. I don't really suggest this team specifically, but it should be able to kill it. Let's move on to another team, which is going to be a Luffy and Ace and Sober Mask. So if you end up pulling Sober Mask, but you don't have Luffy Zoro, this could be a potential team that you could look out for. Now, of course, Law for the same situation on stage 3. Now, of course, the Despair and the Attack Down that gets dealt on stage 4, that actually can be a little bit tricky to deal with. But the thing about it is you actually can just stall out. Of course, you can tank a hit, and it's not really too big of a deal. You have a lot of HP to play around with. No cotton candies added either, so that's going to enhance your HP even more. So you can actually tank a hit or 2, and then eventually, when you want to move on to that next stage, you can actually use the Luffy and Ace special there, because they're going to get rewinded on the final boss stage, and you can use it, carry their buffed captain effect over multiple different stages, and you can actually use the Luffy Zoro special on the stage 4 as well. Carry that into the next room too, because his special will be fully charged back once you kill stage 4. So that's really, really cool. But with this team, with Sober Mask as the sub, it makes a big difference because you're guaranteeing the full board of Wano slots, and you're guaranteeing the 2.5 times attack boost after you activate all your specials that you really need to do. And then with this, we're going to activate once again the 2.75, the Mole boost, the Sober Mask boost. That's 103 million right there with no cotton candies added yet. So this will be easily over 100 million, no problems. So that's another example team. If you hypothetically pulled Sober Mask, you have Luffy and Ace, but you don't have Luffy Zoro. That's a really, really good example. Let's move on to another team here, which is going to be a Sabo Koala team, along with Onami. So if you have these two characters, this is a pretty good team that you can build. So another thing that I have to talk about with this team specifically is if you are going to run this team, make sure to have Rare Recruit Karina. Rare Recruit Karina is really good because she attaches to any Nami character once per adventure when the support character uses their special, reduces damage taken by 30% for 2 turns. That doesn't really matter, but also changes adjacent orbs into matching orbs because you'll be able to get bang, bang, bang. Use the switch ability of Luffy Zoro to guarantee them the Wano slot. Now on stage 4 against that boss Kaido, he can either be Strength or he can be Psi. It's going to be kind of annoying if it's the Strength variation. You will have to take a little bit more time and prepare carefully, but of course you do have this Nami enabling you to get some pretty good damage, but this Nami is not boosted by Luffy Zoro, neither is this Robin. This Robin enables you to remove the attack down and the despair, which is very, very good. But then you've got this Koala who has type advantage against the side variation, which makes a big difference here. Now, of course, with this team, when you do make it to the final boss stage, you do want to make sure that you had Koala up on stage 4 so you can switch into Sabo. But then again, you may have to just stall for the special cooldown anyway because of the preemptive attack of stage 5, lowering this character's cooldowns. You do have the Okiku here to give you additional cooldown reduction, which is very, very good. This Okiku is exceptional for this boss fight, by the way. But either way, what you want to do, you want to have, once again, the 2.75 orb boost, the chain lock, the attack boost, Nami's conditional boost. Now, this is only 81 million. However, with the switch ability of Sabo and Koala providing a 1.5 color affinity to bang, 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 that's going to give you way over 100 million. This should be at least 105, 110 million, maybe even more. This is going to give you a lot of extra damage there. So ensuring you have the switch effect active and all these characters active, using all your specials, this will be over 100 million damage, which will be able to secure the victory. Now, moving on to my personal team that I'm using for this event. This is the team that I'm using. I personally do not own Usohachi, which is a big deal. I'm actually kind of upset that I still don't have him, but I don't really think I'm really too worried because I have everything else aside from Usohachi, so I only really have to deal with the stage 3, which is with all the defensive effects. So the team that I'm using is going to be this one right here. Now, I'm using TM Robin. TM Robin has a really good special to remove Threshold, I believe it is. Let me have a look here. Yeah, Threshold and Rainbow Shield. So she does not remove the blue shield buffed defense. However, what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be attaching 20th anniversary Frankie to that Robin, because this Frankie has a support effect where it states that when you use the special of the unit that you attach to, it will go ahead and drastically reduce the defense of all enemies for 1 turn. Now, this drastic defense reduction is like 80%, I think it is, so it's not going to completely remove the defense, but what we have here is we have a way to completely remove the Rainbow and the Threshold. The defense is lowered to a reasonable margin, and we have 3 Dex characters on the team, because we can have both of these guys set to Zoro, and this will be enough in order to kill off the Kaido, which is very, very good. So that's my ideology of moving past that. Obviously, we've got Carrot for stage 4. We can use one of these specials for stage 4, and on the final boss stage, we have all the rest of our specials ready to go. So that's pretty good. So we can go ahead and use the Luffy Zoro special, the Sober Mask special for the 2.5, and the Carrot special. Now, this is 95 million. This does not have cotton candies added as well. So I have cotton candies for this character. And then if you have both Limit Break expanded with cotton candy Luffy Zoros, it's not going to be a problem. So that's my personal team that I'm going to be using against this Kaido boss fight. So there we go. Hopefully this makes a little bit more sense to you guys. And of course, if you cannot beat the 50 stamina version of this island, farm the 30 stamina. The 30 stamina, from what I've been told, is around around 10 million HP instead. I'm not 100% sure if that is correct, but I know that the boss on the 30 stamina has significantly less HP, so that's what you should be aiming to farm if you cannot farm this one instead. So hopefully this helps you out, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video today, and if you guys did enjoy it, make sure to leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I will see you guys within the next video.